Molly Picklum is a WSL superstar. The 22-year-old Australian is a natural-born athlete and one of the best surfers in the world.
This was absolutely insane.
Molly has it dialed. She is so sure of herself.
Molly is really good at maintaining a balance between the discipline of sport and a lifestyle of having fun.
Semifinals underway here at the Surf Abu Dhabi Pro. Molly Picklum versus Vahine Fierro.
These women are going to level up, and I cannot wait to see the show.
Molly Picklum getting involved.
She's got a good pace, nice rhythm. Pushing harder, little extended slide, puts her in a great spot to drill it again. Two big moves for Picklum. Grab rail cutty, and she'll step off. Numbers lock it in for Molly. She's successful with it making a big improvement, 8.67. Here comes her left.
Molly Picklum is ferocity in an Energizer Bunny form because Molly brings so much intensity out to every single wave that she takes off on.
Amazing surfing from Molly.
She's going to apply some serious pressure here.
Watch this, big blast there from Vahine.
I feel like she has to go for broke in order to beat Molly.
Hits the lip. Bottom turn, pulling in super deep.
Oh, she makes that.
Then Fierro gets caught. It's Molly Picklum getting the jump into the final.
I have a forehand, I have a backhand, and that one I went more on my forehand than I did my backhand. So let's hope I can lean on them both and get big shots.
We'll see you in the next one.
The biggest rivalry in professional surfing at the moment, men or women, is Molly Picklum versus Simmers.
All right, little smile. Nice.
This is that new generation of the tour. We've been enjoying it for a couple years now. And the wildest part about this is Molly has never beat Katie. Just recently, at stop number 1, it was a semifinal shootout.
Molly Picklum. Good golly, Miss Molly. In the barrel at backdoor, coming out.
It's stretching out for Simmers on the reef and makes it. The reigning world champ, Simmers, in the final. Remember Pipe the year before, and Katie got Molly again there.
Huge backdoor section.
And right when you see Molly start with a 9.27, Caitlin does have an answer back. Simmers is your champion at Pipeline. So it's starting to build. Molly's a competitor. Even though she's laughing and probably having the most fun, she is serious. She likes to compete.
And Molly, good golly, knows how to Picklum.
There's a healthy sort of rivalry that brings out the best in people, and you sort of need a rival to push you that little bit more.
The record of how much I've beaten her, that's just not even something I think about.
Your champion, Picklum-Simmers.
Surfing against Katie, it's epic. We don't care, you know, we're just going to go out there and try and beat each other, even though we're such good friends on land.
The last thing she wants to do is remain winless against Simmers. So she's going to be fired up.
Due to their leading ranks, Molly and Katie only face off in high-stakes situations. And here in Abu Dhabi, the two rivals will contest in the final heat.
It's a classic new school final.
Molly will serve first in the final. And this uber-aggressive Australian simply wants a payback win over her competitive nemesis.
It's time to see the 8-ball.
Women's final is underway here at Surf Abu Dhabi, an historic moment here in the Middle East right now. Molly Picklum through the tube. Molly, mad deep that one. Really nice to see. Grab rail cutty, well executed. Simmers about to get involved here. Simmers, her first wave of the women's final. That first turn sets her up for a crazy tube. A little extra on that one.
Excellent surfing right there. I just absolutely love to see that. Different lines, explosive. That's what we like to see. final is on.
Check the carving work from her.
Right now, she's just really applying that pressure on Molly.
Advantage Katie at a midway point in the final.
A little late on the phone, but
Molly Picklum looking to go excellent to stay in touch here. Let's go, Picklum. 7-6-8, the number she's after. Directs her line out of the tube, absolutely clobbers the first section again. Tearing into it here, Picklum. Now it's down to the judges to really do their thing.
That was a good effort.
that was sick.
That was a good effort.
You're gonna grip your teeth and you go. You got some more on your left too. So yeah, just sit back on that kick.
Yeah.
Come here. Down.
Molly Picklum gets the number 7-7, goes into first for the moment.
Watch this girl, man. She's gnarly, though.
So our requirement goes over onto Katie Simmers for her final run. Comes down to the very last wave of the women's final. Katie Simmers, world champ, driving for the fence. Deep tube ride, real well done. She's ripping here, ripping the face, and then out onto this steep transition. That was a hammer.
This kid can serve.
Done it.
Will it be enough without that finish? It's so close. Wow, this is actually crazy.
What a moment this is here. So Simmers, wait for her score.
What's it gonna be? I don't know. This is crazy.
Scores in for Katie Simmers.
Incredible.
Oh, you got it.
She's queen of the desert.
That's like that.
Champion here at Surf Abu Dhabi.
Wow, you two are gnarly. Unbelievable. Well done, Katie. You guys are gnarly for the sport.
Rolling into this one, we've got Molly Picklum with some room on this open canvas. She'll hit it off the lip line. Clean bottom turn, beautiful snap. Pickles now hitting it off the lip again, finding her flow, and she shuts it down.
Taking the first ride, it's going to be Molly Picklum drawing off the bottom. Nice carve off the top, ripping it right back into the bowl. There's a nice little section to lay into. She comes through to the inside. Let's see what kind of work she can get done here. That wave cups out, and Bella has to concede. Molly's got the priority and a nice looking bowl here. Again, swift carve in the pocket. Just flying through these rail turns and building beautifully. Kicks the tail.
Molly Picklum looking left. She's trying to prove to the world that her backhand is just as good as Brooks and Marks, and that first turn was a hammer. Comes around this section on the inside. Nice little bowl to work with. So a great series of backhand hooks for Molly Picklum.
I mean, a few things that stands out to me. One of them is wave size, wave selection, and also the criticalness. Look how big that first turn is. Even though it's a lip line, down the line, it was massive, and then into another one. And how much drive she had on those bottom turns, going around the flat sections and the whitewash in front of her, and finish it off with a beautiful snap. Came out clean. This is huge score for her. It's massive.
Look at this big section, giant windup, and absolutely crushed it, Jesse.
I love the approach, how she went lateral, but still was able to get a lot of spray out the back, made that turn look big, used every inch of that wave.
Pretty up is Molly Picklum. Nice patience, big wall, perfect positioning on the carve. Sets up the lip, she'll lean back to change up the angle of that off the top. Big twist and wrap maneuver there in the pocket, and she will lay down the rail again. Nice speed management, beautiful rail work transitions. And now the Australian winding up, cracking it off the top for a solid finishing move.
She went for the second one, unfortunately couldn't finish.
And now Molly's gonna try to put this one away. responding off the top with a nice top turn and getting there late, but coming down with a big section riding away. That is what she is famous for. She can come around the corner deep like she did at lowers and get 9.6s for heavy sections that look impossible. Fletch is in disbelief. We'll listen for the horn, and this one will be a little bit too late. It will be Molly Picklum taking out the Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona Cero. Her first win of 2025, adding 10,000 points to her season and taking the #1 seed into Jeffreys Bay. Now the lift.
Yes, that's so cool.
I've worked so hard this year to really put my best foot forwards, and actually before I was going out, I was like, felt nearly emotional because I was just like, okay, I get another chance, to try and get a victory. I've dreamt so much of winning here in Rio too. I'm like a real energetic person. I love the Brazilian energy, and to get a win this year means so much for sure.
We got a new world #1 on the rankings in the way of Molly Picklum right now.
Yeah, it's amazing for her, and we talk about her consistency throughout the year so far. First win in 2025, which is amazing. First win outside of Hawaii as well, but her road to the final was not easy at all.
Not easy at all. She had to overcome a very dangerous wild card, and I want to see more of Arena Rodriguez.
Yeah, so do I. I think she has the potential to qualify for Tour later on this year throughout the Challenger Series. But remember, previous to this day, she was the last heat that we ran, so she had to wait a long time to be able to serve for semifinal this morning against Erin Brooks.
Yeah, that was all one-sided affair. Let's take a look at the road to the final for Molly Picklum and the win here, Jesse.
Well, but that definitely didn't rattle that her Mitch, because she looked very composed. Obviously, this is the previous day that you're mentioning about. You can see the different conditions that she had to kind of squeeze through right there. Very tough for her to get those verticals hits and be that critical in such a tough conditions. On the shore, that last turn right there, she was very close to the shore.
Yeah, the bouncy house in that in head heat. And then today, clean. Like I said, this was one-sided in the semifinals up against Erin Brooks.
And she just demonstrated how capable she is of delivering once and over again. And when it comes to consistency, obviously we all know that she's capable of winning. But here in Brazil, it changes so often, and especially throughout today. We saw 4 different kinds of waves throughout the day. It picked up Kaipo, and especially with that low tide, it got difficult throughout the finals.
Yeah, and speaking of the finals, Molly had to come up against the local favorite in Luana Silva, but Pickles, she already had her eyes on the prize.
She was so solid all day long. You can count on your fingers how many times she actually committed mistakes. So she really deserved the win today. With turns like this, how composed she looked and sure-footed she looked on top of the board, I expected her to win.
Yeah, she was looking like the favorite the whole way through, as far as just composure and putting together and organizing a heat.
Yeah.
Great surfing, great strategy.
Organization is a great point right there, though, Kaipo, because it was disorganized a lot of times out there here in Saquarema, but props to her. She adjusted on the fly. She was able to compose herself and handle the pressure, and very well done. First time ever she's actually made it outside of the quarterfinals right here, and she did it with a victory, Kaipo.
Look at that, 8.17 in the final, Jesse.
Yeah, that's impressive. She dominated from the get-go, the first 6.83 right off the bat, and then just kept capitalizing all the way up to the 8.17.
Yeah, saw the opportunity and took it when the cards were laid out before her on day #1 of the event. And oh, what a feeling when you raise that trophy over your head. Now let's take a look at our women's ranking. Molly Picklum's on top. She's going to be wearing yellow, Jesse, at J-Bay.
I mean, once again, right there on the cut line, Caroline Marks just, close that gap against Isabella Nichols, and now it's going to be a fun battle in between, obviously, 4th place into whatever, 6th place or even 8th, 7th place from Tyler Wright, because they're all pretty tight.
Yeah, pretty tight. Caroline Marks just barely behind Isabella Nichols, so that's going to be a battle there.
And also Betty Lou. Betty Lou's only like less than 100 points in front of Isabella Nichols.
There's no separation there whatsoever. Look at the top 3 though, 53, 48, 47. They are miles ahead from everybody else.
Miles ahead.